This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
So we can call the meeting to order tonight at 6:03 p.m. on September 15th. I'd like to let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded. We are legally required to say that. Cool. So first thing on the agenda tonight is free time for the public. If anybody has anything.
Well, I'll go first if nobody else is. Diana Fetterman.
Hi, Diana. Are you?
I don't think I'm on the agenda.
Okay. What's up?
Well, as you know, last month I broached the subject of the Zipta conservation area, and I'd just like to bring that up again, see where the Conservation Commission stands, and maybe urge you to pursue making an offer on the property. I think there are a lot of reasons we talked about that make it compelling. It's really kind of a small amount to pay for both preserving the conservation area that's there, protecting the town well that's at the corner of the property, and we could we could perhaps use some of the investment funds from the Conservation Commission, and we could also go before the Community Preservation Committee and ask for funds. But we really need to decide if we're interested in buying it or not.
Yeah. I thanks for bringing this back up. I don't have an answer for you right now. But this is something that I will circle back with the other members of the commission about.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know that the Community Preservation Committee meets October 14th. So an application to them is very simple, like one page, very straightforward. And there's land and water preservation grants that open again in January. So that's another possibility.
Okay. October 14th. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Anyone else want to bring anything up during the open time to the public?
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
I'm Kristen Broder. I work with Taylor Real Estate, and I am a taxpayer here in town. I am the listing agent for 0 Glendale Road, and just wanted to kind of be present to hear what you all had to say about the idea of purchasing the land. I know it's involved. I know that the town administrator and some other folks had approached my clients back in January, I believe, about purchasing the land. The land does have a bunch of wetlands on it. I know that George has been called upon several times to discuss the potential purchase of the land. And it seems as though the town kind of keeps going back and forth if they're interested in buying the land. From what I understand, there's been an appraisal done on the land. The value of the land was public record, and I believe was $140,000. I just want to say that my clients, the Zipka's family, these are now the trustees, the family of the people that had sold the land for really dimes on the dollar back in the 90s, had sold, I think, 130 roughly conservation acres for, I think, $300,000, of which this land abuts. So they're left with 2.4 acres. A lot of it is wetlands. You could potentially build something small there. We have had multiple offers on the land. But the town keeps kind of chiming back in that they're interested and then kind of saying, no, we're not. And it keeps kind of going back and forth. So as the listing agent, I'm frustrated with it. I know it's been before the water commissioners. They had voted down the idea. As a taxpayer, I really do like the idea of having the land bought by the town to protect the well water that's in the far right back corner. It's not actually on the property, but I would like the town to have control over our drinking water. So I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, I know that it's a process. I know that Diana has written grants before. I know the town is broke. I know all of the things, but if this is something that the town is truly interested in, we'd like to know as as the listing representatives, and I have both my clients' best interest in mind, but we would like to know if it's something that the town would like to pursue. So I guess I'm just here to hear what you all had to say about it and to say, I guess, my final piece with it. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know, I mean, we, talked about it very briefly. I had heard that it had gone through sounded like it had gone through a couple different departments within the town, right? Yeah, I mean, I know that, yeah, the appraisal has been completed there. It does seem like an interesting location to consider, right, for the town, right? Especially, between both the wellheads and the conservation land that it's connected to. So yeah, again, I think, the discussion as to whether or not the Conservation Commission is the group to kick this off or to spearhead this is something that I want to bring up with the rest of the commission. So, but I do really appreciate your comment here, the passion and balancing between, the listing agent and also somebody that lives within the town.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, George.
if I may, Chris and I spoke to another one of your clients this morning,
Yes.
who is very interested in the property. Excuse me. I will try and get in touch with the town administrator and the chair of the select board and see if I can get a more definitive reading on the town's interest in the land. I do not believe the Conservation Commission as a legal entity can purchase the land. It has to be the town. The commission can be on the deed, but the town has to be the entity that has the property. Let me see if I can get a more detailed feeling, if you will, a definitive decision from the powers that are, and I will get it back to the commission and to Kristen as soon as I can.
Thank you, George. I appreciate that. And just to follow up, that client that did put a over asking offer in did decide to back out of it. And he's the one that told me that the town was interested in buying it again. So it feels really conflicting to me, and it's very frustrating to me because just not even a month ago, I heard that the town had no money and couldn't afford it. And so we kind of put that issue to rest. And then when a ready, willing, and able buyer came up, it didn't collapse as a result of that, but there are a number of issues. I mean, there's wetlands on it. We have to go through conservation. We have to go through natural heritage. You know, there's several steps. But it just feels all really frustrating, I guess is the word. Because we've been going at this for almost a year now. So anyways, I just wanted to chime in. I won't take any more of your time. I appreciate you all hearing me out, and just wanted to throw that on the radar of the Conservation Commission. So we can either put it to bed for once and for all, or we can get this going to see if Diana can write us some grants and we can get this land bought by the town. So that's why I'm here.
I'll do what I can to get an
Thanks,
answer.
George.
But I would just add that I think the select board will respond to whatever the Conservation Commission says. You know, they're going to take their lead from the people involved in conservation. So that's been my experience. That was the experience
I
when
agree
they
with you, Diane. I'm only saying that I will, if the town is categorically opposed to purchasing it, even if the Conservation Commission wants it, there's not much we can do.
Mhm.
But I'll try and get some direction from Chris and Scott.
Mhm. Okay.
Thanks, George, for looking into that.
Mhm.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Mhm.
thank you all. Okay, anybody else have anything for the free time open to the public? Okay. Then we can move on. There's 3 public hearings on the agenda for the evening. The first is at Conant Park on Clark Road, an NOI for the Southampton Water Company. Is anybody here to speak on behalf of that?
Yep, that's me.
Okay.
Can I share my screen? Is that allowed?
Yeah, and do you mind identifying yourself?
Yes, I'm sorry. Tim Grace. I'm a senior engineer with Ty and Bond on behalf of the town, representing this project, the NOI for Conant Park. I'm going to try to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep.
Perfect. So this notice of intent is for a BMP demonstration project in Conant Park. For those that aren't familiar with the term, BMP stands for Best Management Practice. It's a kind of a mass DEP term for stormwater infrastructure that meets current standards, I guess is the best way to put it. Older stormwater management things like drain manholes and piping wouldn't be a BMP, but something like, a bioretention basin, a rain garden, things that kind of fall under the umbrella of low impact development. Those are the things that we consider BMPs. And this project is basically to address permit year 6 requirements for the town's MS4 permit. And the requirement is basically a demonstration project that has to be constructed to improve the stormwater pollution removal within the Manhan River watershed. And so we got here, 3 or 4 years ago, I think they started looking at evaluating different areas in town where a demonstration project like this would be feasible. And it's kind of tricky because it has to be within the Manhan watershed. It has to be in town-owned property. And it has to be in an area that makes sense for a demonstration project, because part of the rationale for these things is that the general public can, once the project's constructed, it can be used almost as like a learning tool where people can see the project, they can interact with the project, and then hopefully they can learn something from the project. And so this particular project is proposed for within Conant Park, which I'm sure many of us are familiar with. I actually grew up playing baseball here years and years ago, and I'm here probably 3 or 4 times a week walking my dog. So it's very near and dear to my heart, which makes it kind of an exciting project to be able to propose for the town. But like I said, the applicant itself is the town of Southampton, and this is for permit compliance. That's the whole catalyst for this project. And so this is the location that we're talking about here. It's basically the south end of Conant Park, abutting the parking lot that's right next to Clark Street, Heritage Surveys, and it's essentially right next to this softball field to the right. For those that aren't familiar, Conant Park has a couple different ways to access it, one of which is, through the public library, and the other is directly off of Clark Street. And you can see in this picture right here, this is essentially where the project is going to go. Quick background, the park it's a developed park. It has parking lots, ball fields, play structures, a concessions booth, and more recently a batting cage was installed. The existing parking lot that's there now that abuts Clark Street essentially has one catch basin in it, and that catch basin doesn't have any sort of pretreatment associated with it. So any stormwater runoff, if it has sediment, salts, nutrients, any sort of pollutants, it washes into that structure and then gets discharged directly into the adjacent brook right there, completely untreated. So by today's standards, it doesn't meet today's standards. The project objective is to essentially install a stormwater BMP that will provide pollutant removal capabilities for that structure. And like I mentioned earlier, it should also include an educational component so that folks can hopefully learn from the installation, which is why it's being installed where it's being proposed, because it can leverage Conant Park's visibility and the foot traffic that exists there right now. And of course, the biggest objective, project objective, is to improve the overall stormwater management for that system. And so the scope of work is to construct a new stormwater management system adjacent to that existing ball field that's there. The system, like I said before, it's a BMP, a best management practice. So it includes a sediment forebay, an unlined bioretention basin, and then deep sump hooded catch basins. So deep sump catch basins are better than the traditional catch basins that exist out there now because they have a deep sump. So there is some sediment removal capabilities to those structures. It's not like the ones that, there's basically a structure with a pipe sticking out at the bottom of it, and it's more of a conveyance feature. It doesn't provide any sort of pollutant or nutrient removal. As far as schedule, permitting is ongoing through fall of 2025. We're here seeking an order of conditions from the Southampton Conservation Commission. Construction is slated to begin spring 2026, completed in summer 2026, but the big asterisk there is pending funding. Currently, there isn't any funding for the project, but that shouldn't hold us up from seeking permits for the project, because like I said, part of this process is to demonstrate to Mass DEP that the town is pursuing options to make an improvement as part of their MS4 permit. And so this is a shot of the existing conditions kind of as they appear now. I'm going to try to get my cursor on here. So, let me go back. So this is Clark Street right here. This is if you can see in this area off to the right here, this is the wetland that was flagged that has, a 25-foot conservation buffer, and then the typical Mass DEP 100-foot wetland buffer. And then off in the corner of this existing parking area here is where that existing catch basin is. There's also a couple of catch basins, actually a single catch basin here in Clark Street that we're actually, as part of this project, we're going to pick that one up too, because we can, and filter that existing basin into the system as well. But the dashed line that you see here is essentially the limits of work for the project. The ball field is up here, just a little to the north of it, but still kind of adjacent to it. We're showing a temporary stockpile location, just kind of as a worst case scenario. Unfortunately, as part of the project, this big, beautiful sugar maple is probably going to have to come down. We were showing these trees here to be protected, but honestly, like I said, I walk my dog in this area all the time, and most of these trees are dead. So in reality, we probably would want to pull those out as part of this project, but we can leave that up to the Parks Department if they want us to do that or not. But as you can see from the dashed line, the limit of work isn't huge. We are proposing the typical erosion control barrier where this project abuts the wetland resource area. And then as far as proposed conditions, like I said, it's essentially a bioretention basin and a sediment forebay. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this existing catch basin that's in the parking lot here, because right now it kind of feeds backward into the park and into another catch basin, but none of those existing structures have any sort of pollutant removal capabilities or infiltration capabilities. It's all just, an old drainage system that doesn't really provide any benefit. So we're going to reroute. We're actually going to replace this catch basin with a deep sump catch basin or a deep sump hooded catch basin, so that any sediments or oils or anything like that are actually trapped in the structure and not allowed to just flow into the structure and then out into the adjacent wetland. And then this other catch basin that's in Clark Street right now, that's another one that we're talking about replacing. Again, doesn't have a deep sump, doesn't have a hood, doesn't really serve any purpose besides conveying anything and everything directly into the wetland. So we're going to take both of those structures and then pipe them into a sediment forebay. Sediment forebays are great because they kind of mitigate the first flush of rainwater that enters them. And that's really where the majority of your pollutants and your contaminants come from, right? Like when the rain event starts, anything that's on that surface gets picked up in that first flush and sent off to wherever your outlet pipe is. So a sediment forebay provides that nice pollutant removal capabilities in addition to the deep sumps and the hoods that are in the catch basins themselves. And then the forebay basically does its job, and the runoff overflows into what we're proposing is a bioretention basin. Similar to a detention basin, but bioretention basins are planted with native vegetation that provide pollutant removal capabilities. They can phytoremediate a number of different things. So it's definitely more beneficial than a typical detention basin or an infiltration basin, because the plant material in there provides an additional benefit that those other structures don't have. In addition to that, there's your typical emergency spillway. So if there's a significant event, climate change, right? The basin fills up and it can't handle the additional capacity. It essentially overflows through the emergency spillway and then goes right into that existing wetland where everything's being discharged right now. As far as impacts, basically have about 1,700 square feet of permanent impacts within the 0 to 50-foot buffer zone. 3,788 square feet of permanent impacts within the 50 to 100-foot buffer zone, and then 3 square feet of permanent impacts in the 50 to the 100-foot buffer zone. So approximately 5,500 square feet of total buffer zone impacts, and no work proposed within that local 25-foot conservation zone. And that's it. That's all I had. So if anybody has any questions, happy to answer them.
Well, thank you. That was very thorough. Appreciate that. And George, you said you've gone and looked at this and considered this project, correct?
Yes, I have. I'd like to bring up 2 quick points on this. One, I had email correspondence with the engineering firm today because they were classifying the stream that runs beside the property as intermittent, and based on the next 2 applications, that becomes important as well. And their intermittent determination is based on the USGS mapping and stream stats, both of which allow intermittent stream status in 310 CMR 1058. So there's no question the stream is in fact intermittent. Secondly, in my agent's report, which I have run by Allison, I'm recommending a number of stipulations to be attached to this notice of intent. And with that, I would recommend that the order of conditions be granted.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions on the commission?
I don't have any direct questions. Thank you, Timothy. That was really thorough and appreciate that insight about the project.
Pleasure.
Yeah, no questions here. Good
Okay.
looking project.
I have one quick question. The educational component,
Oh,
I'm curious if it has been determined what that is yet, or
yeah, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that. So it hasn't, I guess, been determined to answer your question. But one thing I forgot to point out on the plans here is we are proposing informational signage to be put right next to this structure. And that the educational component would basically be that signage so that folks that walk there, there's an explanation of what these features are, how they work, and the benefit to the local ecosystem. And a lot of the times on projects like this, we would have like a local school or a class help us design that feature itself, so that there's more engagement, right? So that we have the students becoming active participants in the construction of this project. So it hasn't been determined yet, but at the very least, there's going to be some sort of a, I don't want to say a wayfinding sign, but some sort of a pedestal there where the informational signage for the project is contained within it, and it explains, what it's doing and how it's benefiting the community.
okay, great. Thank you.
Nice. All right. I actually don't have any questions. I read through George's report and agreed with everything that he had said. I'm pretty familiar with the area as well. You can find me there Saturday mornings right now for soccer games. But yeah. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, George.
excuse me, Scott, I remembered in my agent's report, I indicated we hadn't received the DEP number. We
Yeah.
received it this morning.
Oh, okay. And I even had a note here on my my agenda that I skipped right over. Okay, so we did.
Yeah, it's 2890254.
Okay.
And just on a procedural thing, you have to close the public hearing before you make a motion on the NOI, or make it one motion to close the hearing and issue the NOI. But you got to
Right.
remember to close the hearing.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for yeah. All right. Well, I will make I'll keep it simple. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you. All those in favor? Kathleen?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
And I. All right.
Did you miss Brad?
I did.
Aye,
Sorry about that, Brad.
that's fine, Evan.
forgot. Welcome to the commission. Thank you. Okay. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion on this?
The motion to approve the NOI.
Okay.
I will make that motion.
Sorry for interjecting, Hazel. Is that with or without the stipulations I recommended?
With the stipulations
Thank you.
that George has recommended, yes.
Okay, great. I'll second that. Okay, so all those in favor, Hazel,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
Brad,
I,
and I. Great. Thank you. Thank you all. And Timothy, thank you for
Thank you.
that.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay. Next on the list was an RDA for Pomeroy Meadow, 97 Pomeroy Meadow Road.
Mr. Chairman, if
Yes,
I may,
George.
before you take any testimony, I hope the commission members had an opportunity to read the critical email I sent out this morning. Since the applications were filed, the state has declared a drought in western Massachusetts, a level 2 drought, which
Mhm.
means under the regulations, the commission cannot find the streams intermittent.
Mhm.
I suggested a couple of recommendations to the applicants and the commission on, and of course, I'll add, answer any questions the commissions may have. But again, my recommendation is that the hearings be continued, the applicants be allowed to modify their request to do what they wanted to do. And then the commission can act on that. Therefore, there'd be no, well, there'd be meetings delays for the applicants, there'd be no more expense. As an example, why I think that might work is taking this particular RDA at 97 Pomeroy Meadow. The whole point of the RDA was to take the proposed house addition out of jurisdiction by declaring the stream intermittent, because then you decrease the resource area from a 200-foot back to the bank of the stream down to a 100-foot buffer. And the addition is relatively small considering all the factors, and it's not going to have a large, it's not like building a brand new house. So again, my final recommendation is the commission allow the applicants to amend their applications to do what they originally wanted to do. In the 97 Pomeroy Meadow would be actually put on the addition. I forget exactly what was the proposal at 69 High Street, but again, make that the point of the RDA. If we wait until the drought is removed by the state, that could potentially be months, if not into 2026, 37. And I don't think that's fair because then the applicants can't do anything.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. So, okay. So if I'm hearing this right, we open the hearings and continue them. But
Obviously, you'd have to ask the applicants
sure.
if they're willing to do that.
Yep.
But I think that if they would say no, for instance, then you've got to give a positive determination to file an RDA, an NOI.
Right.
And I don't want to put them through that expense if it's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, we're completely open to that and stuff. So yes, we would like that actually.
Jim, did you identify yourself for the record?
Yeah, I'm Jim Boyle, and I'm representing Jimmy Lazier from Pomeroy Meadow Road, and so me and him put together the photos, and my office helped me put it together in a nice form so you guys could take a look at it. And there really hasn't been anything back there that we can even tell for quite a while, even standing water and stuff like that. So we are hoping that we could just go with what George is suggesting, and and then just revisit it when the drought conditions, when we get a little bit of rain or the snow comes.
Okay. Was somebody else jumping on? Or maybe I had an echo. I'm sorry, I have a very upset, whiny dog with me right now. So there's some background noise. I apologize.
No worries.
Okay, so amending the applications. So I mean, this seems to make sense to me, until we can actually determine whether or not there's make the decision as to whether or not there's an intermittent stream. Does anybody else on the commission have any questions or thoughts on this?
I'm not on the commission, but I'm at 69 High Street. And I just
Excuse
wanted,
me, Heather.
Yeah.
Could you hold your comments
Yeah.
until they open the hearing on your RDA?
yes, sir.
All right,
Yeah, we gotta follow the legal
you gotta
rules.
follow procedure.
Open meetings. Thank you, though. Yeah, I mean, unless anybody has any on the commission has any other thoughts, this seems like the most common sense approach to this.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have any additional points, but the drought will probably last months, so this makes the most sense for them to proceed.
Yep.
And Mr. Chairman, I would
Okay,
recommend procedurally, since the applicant for this particular RDA seems amenable to the amendment, that the commission just vote to continue the hearing. And I will generate an email to Mr. Boyle tomorrow morning explaining what he needs to change, so we can get
Right.
that in for the next meeting.
Okay. Great. So just to, because I know we jumped around a little bit there. So we are talking about about 97 Pomeroy Meadow Road. The request for determination that the stream that is on the adjacent property is intermittent. And
It's actually behind. Yeah, it's behind the property.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple 100 feet. And his addition doesn't go any further back than the actual house is. So it's even where the existing house is now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. And the idea here is now that the public hearing for this specific project is open, we can continue the public hearing, make a motion to continue this.
That would be the motion to continue to October 6th.
Yes. So I'll make a motion to continue this public hearing until October 6th.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Hazel. All right, so all those in favor, Hazel,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
and Brad,
Aye.
and myself, aye. Great.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay, so next on the list, 69 High Street. So same idea here, there's potentially an intermittent stream, but we can't define it as such because of the drought. And was it Heather? Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did get the pictures in August, and then Mr. Russell visited prior to the drought being declared as well. So I just want to put that out there. And we're not doing any type of addition. We're just adding some like mafia blocks to the side of the garage where there is 100 feet away, the intermittent stream.
Okay. And is this, we talked through the whole, this whole process with the previous property. Is this something that you are open to as well?
To amending it?
Yeah.
Yes, if that would expedite it from waiting until the drought is, I don't know, done.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Sounds like this, yeah, you'd be able to continue the work once the application's amended properly, which it sounds like, George, you'll be reaching out to both property owners.
Yeah, I will generate an email to both applicants outlining exactly what they need to submit. And I think it will be, then the commission will have to decide on the positive negatives RDA. But from what I've talked to for both applicants, the land disturbance in the buffer does not seem to be incredibly, there's not a lot of it.
Mhm.
So I really don't think at this point we're going to go into the NOI, bailiwick, but obviously we have to wait to see. But as long as they submit the amendment, I think the commission has reasonable course instead of just waiting forever.
Right. Okay. Great.
And I'd like to also apologize that I didn't know about the drought. It came out Friday. I wouldn't have recommended they do this if I'd known it before.
Right. Okay. So, does anybody else want to make a motion here, or otherwise I can keep going?
I can make a motion to continue this public hearing until the October 6th meeting.
Great. Thanks, Nicole. And I will second that.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I'll second that motion. Okay, so all those in favor, Nicole,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
and Brad,
Aye.
and I. Great. So that'll be continued, and George will be in touch. Thank you, Heather.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for the public hearings. There was some in the regular business. George, is there any specific place that you wanted to start?
Well, when we discussed the bridge removal down at Nancy Whitmore, there was a question of where we're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And Kathleen and I have discussed it, and as I stated in my agent's report, we came to the conclusion that the best line item, if you will, to pay for this is out of the forestry account. For which there's
Okay.
27,000 still in there.
Okay. And remind me that's a mix of, I know we're getting a little bit into the treasurer's report here, but that's a mix of funds from town logging
No.
that takes place at towns and stump fees?
No, that was a result of a court legal settlement with the town and Eversource, which we received $70,000 to use on projects. And correct me if I'm reading this wrong, Kathleen. For instance, that's what we're also using it for in Mahan Meadows to help control the invasive species.
When
Now, that's
we
what
when we yeah, so let me just pull up the account descriptions real quick. Just to answer your question, Evan. So I'm like reading it from there. Because again, I learned about all the accounts from Art, and I took notes when he was describing these accounts to me. So hold on, if I can just so I can answer your question.
Okay. Yeah, and while Kathleen pulls that up, do we need to make a motion to agree on what account that's pulled from, or is it just information?
No, I don't believe any motion is necessary. It was just a
Okay.
discussion. The commission wanted to know where we were going to get the funds.
Right. Okay.
Okay. That's what we're reporting back to you. And by the way, on a related note, I've heard from Kent Brothers today, the bridge is coming down this week.
Saw that. Yeah, that's great.
Just to clarify about the forestry account. So forestry account, and these were the notes I took from Art. It is actually earned from tree cuttings. It's a revolving fund. So it could be used. He basically said use this for anything project related. So that's why there's the most money in that account. Like it's 27,000 some change. So this would be a great project a good use of, this money for this project. And then, George, the account you were thinking of, with the Eversource settlement, that's actually the mitigation funds Mass DP account.
Yes.
And we have used that for invasives. We hired Ruby Environmental. Yeah, hired Ruby Environmental for,
Yeah.
places in the past, like Chipta Farm in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Art said, the forestry account has money and, use it for anything. I mean, this is what, he told me like a year ago, which we haven't really dipped into it yet. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's, thank you for digging all that up again. And that sounds good to me. I'm glad that we have that at our disposal for
Yes, it comes in very handy.
challenges like this when they come up. Okay. One of the other one of the other topics you had here was releasing 120 East Street from the conditions.
Oh, yes, there's been a formal request to release some conditions for this project. That was it's the group home on East Street. I don't know if everybody remembers it, but it's about a mile from the town hall going down East Street on the right-hand side. All the work is done. We've received the engineer's certification that everything was done according to the plan. And so they filed a request for release from conditions. I'd recommend the release be granted.
Okay. When was this? I searched back in my records and I didn't see this property. Was this before my time?
This project was starting, I think I was on the job 2 weeks.
Okay.
I met Kathleen and her oldest son on site. And
okay.
So it's in essence before my time too, because the commission had already issued the orders and we were just in the pre-construction meeting.
Got it. Okay. Okay. And so you're recommending
well, basically, except for Kathleen, predates all of us.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you're recommending that we release it.
I recommend the orders be released.
Okay, is that something? Is that do we need to?
You need a formal motion.
We do. Okay. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion? Okay, I'll make a motion to release 120 East Street from the conditions under project 2890245.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Hazel. All right, so all those in favor? Hazel?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And aye. All right. Great. Thanks all. Okay. George, one of the other topics that was from a previous meeting, the payment of signs.
I was hoping Kathy Hall would be here. She's getting together a whole list of signs that she wants to order for the various Conservation Commission properties, trail locations, etc. And we're going to have to find a place to pay for them, probably out of the forestry account. But I thought she requested time on this agenda. Since she's not present, I'll move it over to the next meeting and ask her to make sure she attends.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, Um, and I did see the 2026 meeting schedule. I don't know if you need any action items on that. Okay.
That schedule was reviewed, and we think we're pretty good in terms of not hitting any weekends or holidays.
Okay. Great.
I'll put it up on the website probably beginning of next month.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And then let's see here. There's a handful of things here. So I know that there's the name change for the Garfinkel Menard
Yes.
parcel.
Yeah. All those are informational items. There's no action required by the
Okay,
commission.
great.
But should they wish me to follow up on anything, obviously, just let me know. We'll do it.
Yeah, can you actually give a little bit more insight into the stop work order that you issued at 385 College Highway?
Yes, I went down there, oh, this was a while ago. I don't have the stop work order with me, but what I noticed is they put in some drainage as part of the project. And I went down to take a look at it, and one day there was a piece of heavy equipment on the project, and the next day it was gone. I went on there the second day and I observed a empty 5-gallon container of brake fluid and what appears to be either oil or brake fluid spilled on the site in 3 different locations. None of it is huge. I think the largest spill area is probably about 2.5 to 3 feet in diameter, but it's there. So I stopped the work and until this is rectified, and I have not heard from the applicant, and there has been no more work being carried on. One of the things that's tangentially interesting is next month, according to the original stipulations of approval, the applicant's engineer, which is Ryan Nelson from Levesque Associates, has to submit to the commission a written report on the status of the project and its compliance with the regulations. So I am very curious to get that report to see what he says. To the best of my knowledge, except for that drainage pipe, there has been no work done in this project in a few months. And in fact, it's being completely revegetated as we sit here.
Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. Thanks for that insight.
And what's one more thing, Evan, if I may, the amount of possible spillage of the pollutant does not rise to the level that it has to be reported to the state.
I was just gonna ask that. Have they? No, you said they haven't responded, so we don't know if they've cleaned it up. Okay.
Yes, I do know that they have not cleaned it up
Oh,
as of this morning anyways.
okay.
Interesting. Well, keep us posted on.
Oh, I will.
on
Yes,
that.
definitely.
Okay. Did anybody have any other questions on some of those informational items? Okay. Then we can move on to the minutes, approving some of the minutes. I know, Nicole, you'd sent the minutes from August 18th. Thank you for doing that.
No problem. And then George had a couple of edits, and so he provided those edited minutes with his agent's report.
You did a great job, Nicole. Very thorough.
Thank you.
Much better than what I could do.
Yes, they were, yeah, puts the notes that I had taken to shame. So thank you.
I did have to rewatch the recording for some of it because I can't keep up, but maybe we'll get a secretary at some point, right, George?
Yes. And as soon as you get me the final copy, Nicole, I'll put it on the website that has all these red letters saying we haven't been putting it on there.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Okay, so we need to make a motion to accept those. Would anybody like to do that?
I can make a motion to accept the minutes from the August meeting.
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. So all those in favor, Hazel?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
Brad?
I'm going to abstain. I was
Oh,
not
yes,
on
right,
the
you were not
commission at
there.
that time, so probably
you.
be inappropriate for me to vote on it.
Yes. And I will vote aye. All right, thank you, everyone. And Brad, thank you. Yeah, good call. Okay. And I know I guess I skipped over the treasurer's report. Kathleen, is there anything that you wanted to update there?
Did you guys get my email? All right. So in the email, it's just sort of the updated amounts. The only real accounts that move are, of course, George's wages, it's called Concom agent. The expense one, the general fund one, and then also the wetlands one. We have deposits from the different filing fees. My only question is, George, as far as the wages go, when did, like, I know in the past you had mentioned there was a grant that was involved in your wages.
It was.
Is that
all of funds have been expended?
okay? So I don't have it in front of me right now, but earlier in the day I was looking at the, it's like $2,000 in the agent's wages account, and it seems or did the town tell you that they'll be adding to that, in the next few months, or where do we stand with that? Because we don't want to lose you.
Yeah, neither do I want that. So.
And we want you to be paid.
One of the things we always could do on that is potentially switch the account they're taking those funds out of to the wetlands account. Because you can use that to pay for an agent's salary.
Okay. So we don't need to vote on anything like that now, but that would be something that we could vote on as a commission?
I would recommend that when we get to that point, that if we have to get to that, we have to have the commission vote on it.
Okay.
So so there's a hair over 2,000 right now. When will we get to that point?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would say a month and a half.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're saying from the Wetlands Protection Act? I mean, from the Wetlands Protection.
The Wetlands Protection Act allows you to use your you receive in filing fees, which aren't that much, granted, to carry out your duties. It's been established that you can use those to pay for an agent's wages.
Got it.
And so would we vote on that first, or would we need to like clear that up with the town accountant or anything, or?
Yeah, we should start working on that.
Okay,
You and I and Brad and Tom.
okay. Yeah, so that there's no surprises or hiccups for you, for any of us, so,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that was my own one question, comment when I was looking at the accounts today. Yeah, and then other than that, I guess we'll be using the forestry account for the bridge
Yeah.
removal project at Whittemore. Which I think earlier in the meeting I said we hadn't really used recently, but we did use the forestry account. It was like a 2,000 something dollars for the flurry lumber for Alice
Yes,
Brown.
the Alice
So
Brown
we
Bridge.
did use money from them.
And that's also, we're supposed to get a quote from Kathleen about, not this Kathleen, the other Kathleen. They want to replace the
Mhm.
bridge at Nancy Whitmore. We haven't received that yet.
Okay. Kathleen from
Kathleen Hall Taswell from
Kath, yeah,
Trailblazers.
got it. Yeah, sorry, is there any other questions about the treasury items? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but George, as I look at this, I'm reminded the Red Brook Estates. I believe it was in early fall, we were going to get someone to redo the imaging of that area.
I think the Trailblazers working on that.
Oh, okay.
I'll double check.
Oh, because Evan, you're seeing that like there's quite a bit of money still in that Red
I-
Brook estate. Yeah.
No, it had nothing to do with the ending balance. I just the name.
Yeah,
the
no.
account alone reminded me that we were going to have the aerial imaging
Yeah.
redone as it was part of the, I guess, the long-term plan for that. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen, for answering some of those questions.
No problem.
All right. Any other items that cannot wait until the following meeting or the next meeting on October 6th? Cool. All right. Well, I didn't say it before at the start of the meeting, but Brad, welcome to the commission. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. It's nice to have you.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. It's going to be a different experience for me. I have a lot to learn, but this is substantive stuff to get into, and I appreciate the opportunity. So, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I mean, but I will admit that I'm still learning a lot of this myself. So.
Also, I don't know, Brad, if yes, I am definitely learning every meeting. But I don't know if George might have mentioned or Evan that being a commission member, you are eligible to take the MACC courses if that interests you. It's the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commission. And yeah, we just by being in, the Southampton Conservation Commission, we pay dues to the MACC. And so though, yeah, I don't know if that you heard about that already or if you have questions about that, but they have really great workshops and courses all the time, training Conservation Commission members all around the state.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, so that's something to look forward to. I'd like that opportunity. That'd be great.
Great. And George, actually, that reminds me, we probably have to pay dues for Brad then.
Yes.
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 Will I have to hear from MACC or will you initiate that or me or?
Let me reach out to them and see how they want to handle it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then that way, in the meantime, since you might not get emails from MACC, Brad, maybe I'm happy to forward them to you. But if anyone thinks of it, forward Brad workshop information. I don't know, is anyone gonna take those courses? Because again, the Conservation Commission, we pay for those courses if anyone's interested.
Yeah, and I want to have something in writing from MACC that we can use to give the Bradley to show why we're paying it and how much.
Sorry, say that again.
I want to get something in writing from MACC so we can, you know, Bradley will know why we're giving them the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have been wanting to take some of the courses, and this is me totally lacking on not really connecting as much with MACC, but as commission members, like, should we have received something? Like, if you're paying for like dues for us to take courses, like, should we have received something from them specifically? Or when you're talking about the emails, are you just signed up for like kind of a basic newsletter type of thing?
No, it's a really good question. So MACC does send a lot of like newsletter type thing, and usually there's information about like the courses. And I again, like, we get a million emails a day, so I believe there's some coming up in the fall though.
Okay.
I've taken some, and I've taken like maybe one course when I first joined on this Conservation Commission, and then one when I was like a college student. So I remember it being really, really great, and a great way to also just like network and all that. The one that I took when I first joined, it was still kind of like COVID time, so I did one like via Zoom, but I think it's mostly in person again, and I want to say it's the central state as we host them.
That's good to know. So then when we sign up, we just like denote that we're part of the Southampton Concom. And
yeah,
so
when when I registered, I basically just how did I do it? Because Art was the treasurer then. I think he just like reimbursed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So well, I don't know if that I think that's what happened. Maybe I was reimbursed for something else actually. I'm sorry. I could find that out too.
Yeah, that would be great.
Figure out how that works. Like,
okay.
I feel like it shouldn't be like that. I don't think that doesn't really, I feel like it should be that you let me know what course it is, and then maybe I could like register you maybe even through George, and then like the town is obviously billed for that.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I do know it's like whatever course sounds interesting to you. There's a lot of courses.
Sweet. I'll be sure to look that and let you know.
Yeah, they also have the fall conference is in October, I think, late October.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, the fall conference, which has all the different workshops, and
yeah,
again, it's as much or as little, I think, as you want to do, within reason, obviously.
Right.
I know everyone's really busy, so it'd be hard. Even if, yeah, I mean, I should look into it too. We get to brush up on things.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Okay. Well, if nobody has anything else, then I think we can adjourn. If someone would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, great. Okay. So all those in favor? Nicole?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And aye. Great. So we are adjourned at 7:12 p.m.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.